Om Namah Shivaya. We're at the MA Center here in Castro Valley, California. My name is Christopher Roscoe, and today I wanted to show you some of the things that we make here out of clay. Some of the clay that we actually take from the land here to create wonderful projects. This clay right here was dug and fired here at the ashram. This clay over here, we bought the clay and produced these beautiful pots here and glazed them. And then we create wonderful pottery where we help support the wonderful work of Amma here at the orchard. We have many wonderful people here creating the pots, decorating them, and then glazing them. As in this example, we will plant plants in them, and we'll sell them to people who bring them home and then hopefully plant with them. Today I wanted to show you how we dig the clay here at the MA Center and the advantages and some of the disadvantages of digging the clay. Most potters will use store-bought clay that comes in big plastic bags that are processed and manufactured all over the country and then transported and sold. This clay is excellent for production purposes because you get one quality and it's very predictable. But in the ancient days, up until about 100 years ago, every potter had to go out and dig their own clay. And that's what we're going to show you today. Okay. Here at Alma's Orchard Nursery, we grow plants. And here we're putting plants inside of our fired pottery. The advantage of fired pottery over plastic is that it has a much longer life. Eventually plastic will wear and tear in the sun and disintegrate. Also, the process in creating plastic planters uses up more resources, including oil. Pottery, although it does use a little bit of energy and resources, lasts a lot longer and has a lot lower energy output, thus putting less footprints on our planet. The other advantage of creating our pottery is people get to decorate them and create whatever sort of prayer, saying, or inscription they'd like. In some of these examples here, people have created using clay paints called slip to create these wonderful images. In this one, the image was painted on and then carved here, creating this beautiful mantra and the dripping water. Different clays will create different effects. This clay is an iron-rich clay, creating a very dark clay, much like the clay here at Amma's orchard. Other clay we use is a porcelain white clay, or stoneware, which creates a whiter surface. It's important to use, I believe, this sort of medium, this clay, as not to affect Mother Earth in such a way that oil-based, plastic-based pots will. Okay? And then we might want to get a pan of these trees, and then over here, and other things. So we're going to hike over up to the one of the ponds here on the property of the 400 acres here at Amma's MA Center in Castro Valley, California. Late April, the hills are green. It has just rained. And so the clay is waiting to be dug out of the ground. We're going to go to one of the lower ponds and dig clay and create some wonderful artwork from that. Hi, here we're at one of the ponds at the MA Center, which holds water for the community, the trees, the orchard, and here in Northern California, as summer approaches, the water levels go down and down, exposing silt and clay here, which we're going to dig up and use for our projects. So here we are at the pond, and I'm just digging up the clay, and this is all we have to really do. What I'm doing is just digging it in, putting it in. Because of the action of the water and the drying process, the clay is pretty much exposed for digging. We want to take out plants or any other material that might be found in the clay. Otherwise, we'll leave it in the bucket, we'll soak water in there, and then in 24 hours we'll process it with screen, taking out the rest of the particles. Okay, this is the clay that we've collected from the pond. We usually let the clay soak for about 24 hours, and then we take it out, and we're going to process it. There's certain carbon or organic material in the clay. So this screen is filtering out the pebbles, rocks, weeds, and other material that we don't want in our clay. This is just a window screen that I use, recycled window screen. And it's a little bit laborious, but it's an essential process in this process, because what happens is if we have stones, sticks, or other materials in the clay when we fire it, it could cause some serious problems such as explosions or pockmarks, something like that. So you can see some of the materials, maybe a rock, an old stick, something that we've gotten. By taking this clay and processing it through the screen, we get all the unwanted material out. Okay, that's it. Oh, okay. After processing it through the screen, some of the best part of it is at the back of the screen here. We take it out of the bucket to getting off as much as we can. We want to lose as little as we can in the process. And we put it on our drying cloth here. Usually about 24 hours out of direct sunlight, and the clay is ready to use. Okay, now we're done. This is some of the clay that we dug up from the pond. The permaculture class here at the MA Center dug up the clay, mixed it with straw and sand, and put it on top of the rock forms. Still uncompleted, the clay couch, as we call it, will sit here overlooking the beautiful ponds and lakes and landscapes here at the MA Center. By using this, natural forms of rock, sand, straw, and clay, we lessen the impact. Instead of, say, making benches out of wood or metal or plastic, these will last for years and years, constructed well, and will have far less of an impact on the environment than those other products.